Shalom. Before I do anything, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad. And with that, this is Brother Samak coming at you with another lesson. Lord will. This is edifying. So this lesson, I'm going to call it something along the lines of, this crown comes with a cost. Or this crown is heavy. Something along the lines of that. So going into it as far as this, the crown being coming with a cost, this crown is not something that's just an ordinary crown that we're going after, man. This is a crown that we have to work towards. If you see someone, say you see like a king and everything like that, you know, a true king, what did he have to do to be king, to get to that seat? You know, he had to go through hard training. You know, the things he did before he was a king, the things he did before he was a leader. So in order to be a leader, you have to be a follower, right? In order to be a God, you have to know what it's like to be a man. And the scriptures talk about ye are gods, but ye shall die like men. So we and again, going into that scripture saying that what? We will know good and evil. This is the whole thing that the elect is going through, you know, to understand good and evil. That way we went through those things. We can say we went through those things. And it's in going through those things and then obtaining that crown, obtaining that power that the Lord is going to give to us. Lord will be a part of that number, you know, as far as the elect. It's respected, man. You know, it's going to be respected. A lot of the things that go on here in Babylon, aka America, they it's not a lot of things that you can really respect, man. You know, here it is, you got a freaking hot dog eating contest, and this guy is looked at as the greatest hot dog eater in the world. Just because he ate multiple hot dogs in like 20 minutes or some crap, man. The rewards and everything, all these things people work towards, it doesn't mean anything, right? So let me start off with this. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And real quick, this scripture goes hand in hand with, for many are called, but few are chosen. So of course, there's going to be a lot that's going to enter this race. But here it is. Only a few is going to receive that prize, man. So we don't, and that's the thing too, we don't know who's going to make it. But the thing is, we have to play it out, man. You know? So we're doing this race, and this is not some ordinary race. And at the end of this race, that prize is the crown, man. The crown. So within this race, there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be things you got to go through, man, to get that crown. Okay? So, yeah, it's not going to be some like one of those races that's just quick and easy. No, this is going to take time. This is going to take pain. This is going to take some type of sacrifice, man. Okay? So it says, verse 25, it says, every man that striveth for the masteries is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. Who is they? That's the 2/3 of our people, man. So here it is. Like I said, you got a guy that got a award for the most hot dogs eaten, and now people look at like, oh, he's so good. I don't know how he does it. You know what I mean? And that's on one level, and then on the same level, you got guys, rappers. Everybody named Mom want to be a rapper, man. You got rappers and stuff like that, and what? They get to that seat, but guess what? They gotta continue. That's another thing too. They gotta continue to fight for their seat, to stay in the seat. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, if they don't stop, guess what? They're gonna be talked about. They look at for instance, basketball player like LeBron James, right? LeBron James, the basketball player, he done so much and everything like that, very talented and everything, but yet people still talk stuff about him. There's always gonna be that one guy that is better than you, and it's gonna be looked at, better. You know what I mean? It's always gonna be like that, man. So, and Jake being a rapper and everything like that, they get this money, they get into this money, and then what? They get shot. And now all that money is going to waste. That's a corruptible crown, man. That's a corruptible crown. It says, but we, an incorruptible, something that can't be taken away from us. You know what I mean? Something that we have to ourselves. It's just one of those things where, like, you really earn that, We're going up the right way. It's going the wrong way and then going the right way, There's a lot of people that don't even enter into this race, man. So it's a blessing to be called, man. It says, I therefore so run, not uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Again, you're doing it. You enter into the race, but you're going the wrong way. You're going backwards. You got to go forward, man. You're in other words, so it says, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Shadow boxing. You ain't hitting anything. You ain't gaining anything by doing this. You're not gaining anything by cutting people with the scriptures, and getting some type of fame for yourself. You're not doing any of that. So it will behoove you to actually go the right way and the way of Yahweh Shai, like Yahweh Shai did. Okay, a lot of people don't even understand what Yahweh Shai even did. He didn't come for any no fame or anything like that. That's not what we're here to do, man. We're here to be servants. Okay, so that goes into the next thing that I have, which is Mark, right? Because this goes into it, man. Yahweh Shai himself came as a servant, man. He came to serve. And what do you think we're supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be going through those same things, okay? To understand what it's like to serve in order to be a king. What did I say before? In order to be a leader, you got to be a follower first. In order to be a great leader, you got to be a great follower. In order to be a God, you got to be go through what it's like to be a man, die as a man. Again, in the book of Genesis. In order to be a king, you got to know what it's like to what? To serve, to be a servant. Okay? And that's what Yahweh Shai demanded us to do in order to get to this crown. Okay? To be servants. This crown comes with a cost. Okay? So it says, this is Mark chapter 10 and verse 32. It says, and I'll read this in the KJV for now, but I'm gonna skip to the the NKJV for the last couple of verses. But this is as it says, and they were in the way going up to Jerusalem, and Yahweh Shai went before them, and they Salaki, that's not right. It's Verse 35, it says, and James and John, the sons of Zebedee, come unto him, saying, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire. And he said unto them, what would ye that I should do for you? So Yahushua said, what should I do? What should I do that you want me to do? Basically, right? It says, they said unto him, grant us that we may sit one on the right hand and the other on the left hand in thy glory. Right? It says, but Yahushua said unto them, and this is the thing too. So they're basically saying having that glory, like Yahushua is going to have that glory, that same glory, not being right with Yahushua within that, and that's the key. That's the thing that is going to happen, being joint heirs and being having joy in that, So when Yahushua is being raised up, the elect is gonna be raised up as well. Okay, that's the key. So it says, but in order to do that, what should we do? And Yahushua, he said, but Yahushua said unto them, ye know not what ye ask. Can ye drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And they said unto him, we can. And Yahushua said unto them, ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, and with the baptism that I am baptized with those shall ye be baptized. So the same things Yahushua is going through, the same things, man, we're going to be going through, man. Okay, so that's the only way. Okay, Yahushua came to serve. He came to not as like I said, he came as a servant, right? So that's that we gotta be, man. We're going to go through the same things. We're going to go through trials and tribulations. We're going to go through people talking a lot of stuff about us. Yahushua even said that in John 15, the 15th chapter. If they hated you, ye know that they hated me before they hated you. Because I chose you out of the world. Okay? So Yahushua let us know what it's going to be like, when going through this and going through this walk, man, and being called into this, man. Okay, it says, but to sit on my right hand and on my left hand is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared. Okay, so here it is. Yahushua let him know as far as this. That shows as well as that there's an elect, okay? There's an elect, man. And the elect is already picked. It's already picked. So as brothers say all the time, the game is rigged. These men were chosen from the beginning, but we have to play it out. Okay? We have to again, that's why the scriptures talk about hope. Hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man for what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? So that's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect. Okay? So we go through the motions, and Lord will, we be a part of that number. Okay? The scriptures talk about Yahushua said to Thomas, I believe it was in the book of Matthew, if I'm not mistaken, that he said, what did he say to Thomas? He said, he says, Thomas, since you have seen, now you believe. Blessed those who have not seen and yet believe. So, yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. That takes great faith, right? Says, verse 41, Oh wait, yeah, yep. Keep reading. It says, and when the ten heard it, they began to be much displeased with James and John. Why'd you have to ask me that? Something like that. But it says, but Yahushua called them to him and saith unto them, ye know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise leadership over them, and their great ones exercise authority upon them. But so shall it not be among you. So long story short, let me read that again. It says, verse 42, but Yahushua called them to him and saith unto them, ye know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and their great ones exercise authority upon them. So here it is, you're in the high seat, you telling them what to do, everything like that, da-da-da. But he said, what? But so shall it not be among you. You, even though, as far as the judges upon earth, you being the judges for the kingdom to come and everything like that, this right now, not among you. It says, but whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister. And whosoever of you will be the chiefest shall be a servant of all. Okay, so a minister is another word, another saying for servant. If you look it up, minister, go into the word minister, right? It goes into what? Oh wait, oops. Yeah, it says to serve of a king. It says a waiter, one who serves food or drink. It says servant, right? Let me see something. Yeah. So so you being a servant, okay? We're here to serve, okay? So so in other words, he said what? Whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister. And whosoever of you will be the chiefest shall be a servant of all. 45, last verse. For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered to, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. Again, ministered. He said he came not to be ministered unto, to be a servant unto, right? See, to be a servant, right? If I could just highlight it right here, but yeah. It says, take care of a poor or to sick, to take care of a servant, to serve. So he did not come to be served, but he came to serve. So if he came to serve, what do you think the followers of Yahushua is supposed to be doing? Servants as well. Okay, we're here to serve. That's why that's a cut to a lot of people, a lot of Jake, you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, especially in Israel, that try to make it as if they're so high and mighty, and that's pride, man. That's not what Yahushua was doing when he walked the earth, man. Okay, he came as a servant. Okay, so he comes as a servant. We have to come as a servant. That's why you shouldn't be trying to make it as if you're some high and mighty guy. That's why you shouldn't be as if you're better than this person or looked up to, or no. We came to serve, man. Okay, we're not here for any fame, no anything, man. Okay, we get that when we obtain that crown, because here it is. Now, say it like this, right? And that's another thing too. That I remember back then, you had Israelites. You had Israelites having it to where other nations were kissing the feet and all the stuff like that, and you know what I mean, all this stuff, and what was I gonna say? It's just a lot. You go through you do all these things, and then what? What happens if you don't make it? What happens if making yourself as somebody that's gonna obtain this crown, but then you don't obtain that crown, and then now you're looked at as stupid. You know what I mean? You didn't even endure to the end yet, man. You didn't even go to get to the finish line yet, man. And you're already celebrating and everything like that, man. So that shows as well that, again, that they're not followers of Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai walked this earth and became a servant, okay? And that was the point. So this crown comes with a cost, man. Okay? That's why Yahweh Shai himself is well respected, because of the things that he went through, the things that he did, the miracles that he did, fed the poor, the needy, the broken heart, the sick, okay, the lowly. These things that he did, okay, ministered unto them, being a servant unto them, came to serve. So, if he did that, we got to go through the same thing. That's why his crown is much more. The crown that he has is respected. We can respect him because of the things that he went through. So what more the elect when they receive those crowns? Those crowns are something that come with something. They did something to get to that crown. Okay? That comes with trials and tribulations. Okay? So this is James chapter 1 and verse 12. It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him." So endureth that temptation. Okay? You're enduring that temptation. You're gonna be tempted. Okay? You're gonna be tempted to go off and everything like that, but that's just what comes with this crown, man. That's just what comes of this life. Okay? He that, let's say Mark 8 and 8th chapter, and probably like the 36th verse or so, and also Matthew 10 and 38, I believe, where it talks about what? He that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. We're losing our lives to obtain Yahweh Shai, man. To obtain this truth. Okay? To find this truth, to find Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, man. And for those of you who don't know, Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And those are the true names whereas we shall be saved by, man. Okay? As the scripture has said. So, so let me read that again. It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him." Okay? So, we're gonna be tried, man. Okay? That's just what comes with this. Right? This is Revelation chapter 20. Nope. Chapter 2. Chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." See? So these things are going to be happening, to us, man. Being tried, being in prison. Look at the Peter and the other apostles, man. Were they not cast into prison, for teaching in the name? You see that in the book of Acts, right? Did we not tell you to stop preaching in that name? We following after Yahweh Shai, so that comes with a doctrine. Okay? Jesus Christ comes with a doctrine. That's why we're not coming in the name of Jesus Christ. We're not coming in the name of Yahweh. We're not coming in the name of Yeshua. We're coming in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that's what this world does not want to hear, man. Okay? So, us coming in the names of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, okay, it's gonna what's the word for it? Yeah, it's gonna come with all these hatred. That's why in John 8, Yahweh Shai said, "Ye seek to kill me because my word has no place for you." Roughly paraphrasing. So Yahweh Shai was going through it with these, not really going through it, but yeah, he was going through it. But at the same time, these people were coming against Yahweh Shai, man. You see, the scribes and Pharisees, you know, and then you see our people just bucking up against this, man. You know, so if they did it to Yahweh Shai, dang right they're gonna do it to us, man. Okay. This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience," and that word patience goes into suffering. Okay, when we go through this, you know, being patient, waiting upon the Lord. While we wait, the scriptures talk about occupy till he comes. We're occupying ourselves in prophecy and in the scriptures, right? And also ultimately, this patience goes into, again, suffering, and we're gonna be suffering in this, man. It says, being tried. It says, "I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." So here it is. We endure to the end. The Lord's gonna keep us from the hour of temptation. Okay, we're gonna be good. You know, the scriptures talk about in famine thou shalt laugh. You know, the scourge of the tongue, famine, all this stuff like that. You know, so what else was it? I can't remember, but the point is, as far as the elect is going to be good in that day, man. You know, they're going to have the Lord on their side, man, and it's going to be beautiful. Lord will be a part of that number. It says, "Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown." Right? So you're holding on to this, man. Okay? Letting no man take thy crown. Hey, I say this, let not the Holy Spirit being taken from you. Okay? So we enduring to the end, man, and obtaining that crown. Again, it goes back to that crown, man. That crown. Okay? And that crown comes with a cost, man. So it says, "Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my power and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power." Okay, and that shows as well, you see my power. That's the distinction. It shows that Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, has a God. Okay, a distinction from, so the Father and the Son are not the same. Same in mind, but two different entities. Okay, so it says, "I will write upon him my new name," and that new goes into kainos, which means refreshed. Okay, so that being said, the hour of temptation. So we enduring to the end, man. That's the key. Okay. So last one. This is 2 Timothy. No, not Hebrews. 2 Timothy chapter 4. Yes, 4 and verse 7. it says, I have fought a good fight. And again, that fight, man, to get to that seat, okay, to get to the kingdom, this is a fight. This is not something that's going to be easy, you know. Just like I said in the beginning, you know, Jake do it to obtain a corruptible crown. That corruptible crown is something that can easily be taken away. You know what I mean? But this fight is different. It says again, I have fought a good fight. You gotta fight, and that's the key. So when you're fighting this, you end up no crumbs. You know, you left everything out on the table. You fought that good fight, man. No regrets. You know, you fought a good fight. It says, I have finished my course. I have kept the faith, right? Kept the faith, man. You still have your faith, man. You still have your integrity, your strength, you know? It says, henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing. Okay? So, yeah, man. This is not going to be something that's in vain. The scriptures talk about the Lord will not forget our works and labors of love. This is not something that's going to be in vain, man. This is actually counts. So the scriptures talk about lay up for yourselves treasures upon earth, treasures in heaven, Slakia, where moth and rust doth not corrupt. So we're laying our treasures in heaven, man. You know? So that being said, this crown, again, we're working towards this crown, man. Constantly. You know, training ourselves and staying in content with ourselves and at the same time being a servant. That's the key. Being a servant. Starting off with a servant and then obtaining that crown and then being respected. Okay? Because like I believe I said, if I didn't, I'm going to say it. You know, if I did or didn't, I'm going to say it again. Yahweh Shai, what he went through, being a servant and you know, being on the cross and everything like that, being talked about and everybody being against him when he didn't do anything, but just preach the word. He's respected. People look at him and now respect him. You know, the things that he did. And ultimately, he just did it. He did it for the elect. That's the thing. He did it for the elect. So, when it comes down to it, the elect, so that way the elect can know how to be, you know, and ultimately too, the Lord loved the elect, man. You know, it shows it. But yeah, so if Yahweh Shai went through it, we have to go through it too. Okay? So that crown comes with a cost. So with that, I pray that you have been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad. And with that, I say, Shalom.